share me.
Just wait. So, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today is February 19th. It's 38 past 10 a.m. Eastern Time on my side of the world. Excuse me. So, we have Muhammad Shoaib, who is going for his last exam, part 2 of the EduQual. This is at level 6, RQF level 6, AI-driven resource optimization and quantum-safe cryptography for cloud-native applications on AWS and Azure. I have lots of questions regarding this because we are going through similar things in our infrastructure. So there's a lot of things I'll be asking. We are not using quantum safe, but yeah, you can say that those are also quantum safe cryptography applications as well, because that's a bigger issue when quantum computers are on the horizon. Okay. All right. The presentation looks pretty good. I'm just reviewing the report right now. I reviewed the presentation, the oral plagiarism report. We will be introducing some new controls in place, Mohammed Shoaib. There are some new things coming up within the company. One of them is going to be Turnitin. It's one of the solutions that university uses, multiple global universities, they use that tool to ensure that any possible plagiarism is detected, right? So we'll be doing that. Right now, we have used ChatGPT, the GPT-0 as they call it, right? To see if possibly if there's like any possible usage of AI. Of course, like there are multiple LLMs, more than 50 of there are more than 50, 100 LLMs right now available in the market. For every use case, there is an LLM. There is no one LLM which is the master. You can call it the master mold LLM that can do everything. That is not the case. LLMs are trained on a specific data set, right? So they have their own different capabilities. Now they're coming with reasoning capabilities and thinking capabilities, so on and so forth, right? So this is a dynamic discipline. It is evolving very fast. It is expanding very fast. I'm going to ask you openly right now, uh, have you used AI to develop this presentation?
Uh, I've used AI in just in
Hold on. Before you answer this thing, make sure this is recorded, right? Uh, right now, I can tell you, right now, the controls are being developed. This is going to be the most painful task for universities and educational establishments around the world to root this out, right? Because AI is everywhere. AI is being augmented, like multiple new things are coming up. In our phones now, we have AI. We don't even know. Like all the Apple AI, all the Apple phones are coming with AI, right? Mac has AI, the one I'm using. It has Apple Intelligence. It's AI. It's an LLM running 200 billion tokens, right? The one that is running on my laptop right now. So if you have used it, let us know. Yes, I used it. And in what capacity, let us know. Because I can tell you one thing, there's a big debate going on. It is going to take time for the organizations to accept the fact that it is very difficult to contain the AI, because the code that we are writing is being generated by AI, right? You're working in DevOps, right? So whenever you're stuck, what do? You consult
I
AI,
just yeah.
right? Uh, in our organization, we are using Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, OpenAI, Albari. Like there are multiple models. Albari is our own model, so we are using multiple models ourselves. And this is huge, right? So now I'm going to ask you again. If you have used it, just let us know. Yes, I used it to make the presentation, set it up, this and that, or whatever the case is, to give it a good flow, verify my things. Except it's
Okay.
perfectly fine. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, I have used it for my research purpose.
that's
So
good. Okay,
there's a
fine.
lot of there's a lot of knowledge it gives you, but you just have to compose it into a presentation. And so designing I've designed it by myself, and the content which is in this presentation is put by myself.
Okay,
So that's how I've
okay, that's fine. That's okay because that's what I wanted to know, right? We cannot stop people from using AI. That's not possible. That is not going to happen. In fact, there's a new terminology known as AI of things. Like Internet of Things, IoT, there's AI of
Yeah,
things. AI is now being embedded in our glasses, in our clothes, in our, like, I'm not using my Apple Watch right now. It keep tracks of my sleep, my rhythm, heart rate, everything, right? So, and this is where AI is analyzing the data in real time and giving us the results, right? Are we on the right
yes,
path, wrong path, whatever, right? So, uh, these are the things. So, undeniably, we cannot, remove that fact, right? Uh, the other thing I'm going to ask you is, so that's fine, it's okay. The other thing I'm going to ask you is that, did you use AI? You already answered that, to do research, find out questions and answers and everything. You did that?
yeah. I
Okay. I
find
can't beat AI myself. I mean, right? Even my experience, I may be able to trump it once or twice, but when it learns that I've asked that question, then it updates its knowledge database, and then it will be able to provide you the answer as well, right? So
yeah,
for me, it is practically impossible to beat the AI. The key skill that you need to understand is you have to augment yourself with AI, right? So the decision making part needs to be done by you, right? While you're using artificial intelligence, right? In terms of making sure that if you're on the right path or the wrong path, okay? All right, so the presentation is going to be, that's fine. No points deducted, by the way. I didn't deducted anything, just to let you know, okay? So just relax,
yeah.
calm down, inshallah. Uh, you tell me something about yourself. You started the journey in 2022. Which month?
Uh, I'm in January, I think, I remember. And
January of
I mean, it's been 2
2022.
years. Yeah, it's been 2 years. I'm with Al Nafi, and I've studied different courses from. I started with
So you started with
cyber defense.
GCCS, and then you
Yeah,
went
I
to,
took cyber defense first of all. I mean,
okay, that's a long
and
cyber.
then yeah, then I switched to CAT, then GCCS, and then to DevOps, and then I purchased AIOps recently.
And then
Yeah,
AIOps, and then DevOps, and then AIOps, right?
yeah,
Okay. As you're going through this thing, there will be certain labs that you have to complete, right? Once the exam is over, we will provide you those labs on alnafe.cloud, right? Uh, it has come to our attention that our academic director, Yusuf Riaz, wants us to, this is his, uh, basically, the whole project that he's managing. This is all because of him. You know, After Allah, it is him that Allah granted him and his team to take where we are right now, right? So there are certain things that you have to do. You will be asked to do some labs if you find out that you have to do some of these labs. Okay. So
okay,
Yusuf Riaz will not contact you, but there will be a separate team contacting you to ask you to do some certain labs. The labs will be given with instructions and everything. The container
yeah,
will be ready. You don't have to record the labs. You don't have to do anything. Everything will be there, recorded, documented automatically through AI. You don't have to do anything. Just repeat the
okay,
process, follow the process, answer some of the questions that the AI is going to ask you. Make sure that we are all on the same page. Okay. We
all
are
right,
introducing these new controls, tightening them up. Right now, these are all experimental, right? As of right now. But down the line, we will make it mandatory. It's going to take us 3 months. By June of 2025, they will become mandatory. Okay. So these are the new things which are on the horizon. There are certain controls. We are documenting them, updating them, reviewing them. Once those are approved, you will receive the update. Okay. Inshallah.
okay,
So you'll be given 20, minimum 15, maximum 20 minutes to go through the presentation. Uh, you know, present me the topic in the best way possible you can. Then I will jump in and ask you questions. There will be a series of 10 questions, 10 to 15. Each question will be 2.5 marks, right? The presentation is divided into five key areas that I'm going to ask you. The report card is in front of me right now that I have to fill out. It's the content mastery, how good you are in terms of analyzing the content, the organization, how organized it is. I can tell you by looking at that. The presentation skills, how are you presenting, right? So sometimes people are just reading it, right? Sometimes people are explaining it by adding their own words and whatnot, right? So you can have a script for that, but don't just blankly read the presentation. If you do that, you may get a passing grade, but it's going to be a lower one for that presentation skills because there are five key areas of how we evaluate, right? Right? So that's how it is going to be. So we have to make sure that you do that. Like for example, your examination report is in front of me right now. I can show it to you. Hold on. So that's how it will be evaluated, right? So we're going to start sharing our process much more to make it transparent and visual and whatnot, right? So this is going to be your report. I have to fill it out, your report, make sure everything is there, so on and so forth, right? Does the presentation meets the requirement of examination? Is AI likely used in the creation of this presentation? You already answered that question. Areas of improvement, final conclusion. Analysis, AI generated or human created, right? Does it meet the topic requirements? Examination, format analysis, all of these things will be there, right? Content mastery, organization. This is where I give you the marks, right?
Okay.
This is where you will be marked. The above are just my comments, but this is how I'm going to judge you. How masterful you are in terms of securing, presenting me the content, the organization of it, organization of thought, skills, communication skills comes in presentation, visual use of visuals, and usage of AI tools. What does AI tool means? How can we implement AI to make what you are presenting much more efficient and effective, right? And then the list goes on. So this is a long report. Right now it's 7 pages, but once I'm done populating it, it'll become 10 to it'll become like it goes to 15 pages. You double it up, right? So there will be much more content written in there, right? So it's a simple presentation. Don't worry about it. Our goal, number one goal is to enable you to be to present us in good light. That's another thing that has come to me coming from our director of academic operations. Essentially, he is the founding member of this whole thing because it is because of Allah accepted him to take us where we are right now. Okay, inshallah. So we have to see all of those things. Um, present me your while presenting a topic. I can interrupt you if I see something is wrong or whatever the case is, right? If I'm not able to understand or if I'm losing your voice or whatever the case is, inshallah, we'll do that. Um, Once the topic is over, I will ask you questions. Each question will be 2.5 marks. So 25%, 25 marks are for the presentation, and 25 marks are for your examination questions, right? So that makes us 50. The remaining 50 is MCQs, right? We are compiling your data. It will take us 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks to compile all the data because there's a lot of things we are looking at. A lot of fraud controls, detection, this and that and whatnot. I just wanted to ask you one thing. Did you use scripts to complete your MCQ exams? Like run a
No,
script where it is able to complete all the data, right? That's not
no, I
allowed.
have not. No.
The remaining thing, it's an open book exam. If you want to do that, just try to do your best, but don't just consult. But did you consulted AI to while doing your MCQs or Google the answer? Did that?
I've used Google and some
So
articles and like that.
that's fine. It's an open book exam. That's why we'll be introducing Yusuf, take notes, okay? You're here, Yusuf? Is Yusuf here? So we have to take notes. We have to make sure, we keep on incorporating and improving the process, inshallah, okay? All right. So let's start the exam. Are you ready? You can share the screen.
Yeah. Uh, Wait a second. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay.
Uh, okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm right.
Okay. Bismillah
All
Rahman
right.
Rahim. Your time starts now. Again, relax. You can do this thing, inshallah. It's a tough topic, but you'll breeze
Yeah,
through, inshallah. Don't worry. Okay.
very
Bismillah.
tough topic. Uh, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. My name is Muhammad Suhaib, and I'm the student of RQF Level 6, Artificial Diploma in Artificial Intelligence Operations. And today I'll be presenting a topic which is AI-driven resource optimization and quantum-safe cryptography for cloud-native applications on AWS and Azure, a multi-cloud environment. So we'll be future-proofing the multi-cloud architecture with efficiency, scalability, and security. So the table of contents include we'll be discussing and we'll be talking about on these topics, understanding the cloud applications, what is truly a cloud native and why uh, design phase is very important, right? Automating the cloud native deployments using the DevOps approach, what it is and how we'll do that. Resource optimization, why it matters in the cloud, why we need resource optimization, AI-driven resource optimization with the SysOps perspective, applying AI for IT operations and the quantum computers, and the threat to our current cryptography from the quantum computers, and how we can remediate uh, it through quantum safe cryptography, and why we need to automate the GRC process in a multi-cloud environment. So that's all we'll be talking about. Okay, let's start with a quick overview of understanding the cloud application. That what is truly a cloud native is. Just hosting your application in the cloud while lift and shift, right? That does not make your application cloud native. So that is just a cloud-based application with limited scalability and agility, limited agility. The architecture is usually monolithic, and the automation is very partial, and the deployments are very slow, right? However, a truly cloud-native application is designed and built from scratch to for the cloud, right? And they follow all of those cloud-native principles that I mean, it uses the cloud in a true manner. The applications are based on and designed on the principle like microservices, containers, dynamic orchestration like using tools like Kubernetes, serverless, and compute elastic scaling, auto healing. So the difference lies in the design. Design is very important when because everything starts from a design, and it is a phase where we implement and all the requirements, business requirements, compliance requirements, right? And we bake the security into the product, right? And it's all starts from the design. Automating the cloud native deployments using the DevOps perspective. Uh, so. We can do this by using infrastructure as a code. That is first thing, and that there are a lot of tools in the market that we can utilize uh, for infrastructure provisioning. In AWS, we have AWS Cloud Formation, which helps us to automate the infrastructure provisioning by declaratively as a code. Similarly, we have in Azure we have Azure Resource Manager, which also help us to declaratively define our desired resources in Azure cloud. And then we have a Terraform, which has Edge and which are using very organizations are utilizing this tool heavily because of its multi-cloud support, right? We can manage the um, multiple clouds at the same time in a centralized way from one location, which gives you more visibility, right? So that's why Terraform is much popular. And then we have CAF landing zone. It's a new concept and it's emerging right now. So It's basically CAF is the Cloud Adoption Framework. So AWS is also providing CAF framework, and Azure has its own CAF. So it's a set of best practices and guidelines, tools, and methodologies used by any organization who wants to migrate to the cloud, or if they wants to upscale their application and their workloads, they can utilize the CAF framework. Now, AWS and Azure both have the CAF framework. In AWS, if we want to implement it, we can use AWS Control Tower, right, with Terraform, or we can manually create our landing zones, right? So, and in Azure, we have Azure Terraform SRE. So basically, a landing zone is the foundational layer, right, on which you put your workload, right? So it brings governance, it automates that process, governance, security, networking, right? And landing zones are divided into 5 levels from level 0 to level 5, right? And each of the level has its own resources, right? So the main goal of Azure Terraform SRE framework is to leverage the infrastructure as a data, right? As rather than infrastructure as a code, you just have to put in your data, right? And your infrastructure will be provided. So it will be less prone to error, right? And so we are also, I'm myself, I'm working on this project in my company. So that's why I know we are contributing to this Microsoft product. So I'm of this project. So we are making this dynamic, more automated. The main concern now, each level of landing zone has its own state file, uh, which helps us to isolate and decompose the environment in multiple state files and multiple levels. The main concern with state file is security and the state locking. The state locking means that two users cannot use the state file simultaneously, right? So it helps us to control the blast radius, right? So if one landing zone is affected due to any reason, it will not affect the other landing zone, right? So by using this Terraform state, you can compose and the complex environment very fast, and you can implement your foundational layer, your foundation infrastructure for your workload very easily, right? And then we can integrate CI/CD pipelines in our IAC that streamline the process. As soon as you push the code, the Terraform code and your modules in the GitHub repository, any version control repository, or you create a new pull request, it will trigger a pipeline. And your code will be tested, validated automatically, and it will provision the infrastructure in a multi-cloud dynamically. So, and similarly, and in the CI/CD pipeline, we can also enforce our policies uh, during the CI/CD pipeline. So we can use tools like OPA, which is a proactive tool. So any resource when is pushed, it will be first tested and validated against our policy. OPA will not allow that resource which will not comply with our policies. So it's a proactive approach, right? So we can enforce the policies in a CI/CD pipeline, and it will those so our workflows will be more secure and scalable. And it also enhances the drift detection, right? So we can immediately detect any drift if there is manual change in the you know in our infrastructure. We can detect it and we can revert it immediately, right? And the last one is Lambda functions and Azure functions, that is serverless. So we can use it for some of the tasks like event-driven drift detection, right? So if there is any anomaly, we can integrate it with Azure AWS config and Azure policy, So that automatically monitors the infrastructure and all the request coming to it. So if there would be any kind of drift, it will trigger the Lambda function that we can uh, revert it or take action on it immediately. Uh, Now we have resource optimization. Now, why it matters in the cloud? Uh, so every organization has two major concerns: cost and performance. They want to decrease the cost and increase the performance, right? And they're inversely proportional, you can say. So, thus, the resource optimization in the cloud is essential by efficiently managing and allocating the cloud resources. However, as cloud adoption rises, managing these resources becomes more complex. Now, companies often use multiple cloud services across different providers, and it leads to challenges like cost control, performance tuning, scalability, and so without proper optimization, businesses can may face, over provisioning and under provisioning of the resources. So we need a balance between the cost and performance. So by adopting the right cloud strategies, uh, we can increase the performance, enhance the scalability and cost efficiency. And we can leverage the technologies like auto scaling, reserve instances, and workload right sizing. So the problem is we use the cloud, there are some complexities, right? And like for example, the pricing model. The pay-as-you-go model is not that simple, right? While the pay-as-you-go model is attractive in principle, but the reality is different. So cloud providers offer a vast uh, array of services, and each with its own pricing more structure. So you are not just paying for one service, right? There are a lot of services associated with it. If you're using EC2 instance or compute, there is this storage associated with it, elastic IP, networking. You have to pay all of those services. So there are a lot of hidden charges, right? So that's why, according to the Gartner report, around 70% of the organization they underestimate their cloud cost, which leads to potential overspending. So organization that
I just
adapt the
wanted to stop
automated,
you here. Just wanted to stop you here. This is a very important point. You just started your job recently in a company. Have you told
yeah,
about these things, to them, like around 70% of the organization, they underestimate their cloud cost?
no, I'm not discussed with them yet. Uh,
If you do the discussion regarding the cloud resource optimization and insights from the Gartner report, this is going to open their eyes because are you guys cloud service providers? Are you guys integrators? What do you do?
we provide cloud services as we are Microsoft. We are working mostly on Azure. I mean, provide cloud services. The
So it's
We
a
do deployments, DevOps, AI deployment,
so it's a
and
managed service provider, MSP.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
provide services and then you also manage them as well.
yeah, because we are as a partner of Microsoft.
Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft is selling their cloud services through you.
Yes,
This is very important point. Just your promotion can be done on this slide alone. If you start highlighting and talking about to your customers, what do you have to do? Our cloud costs is skyrocketing.
yeah,
And it's the number one problem we have is like the teams, they don't understand. And the cloud, AWS and Azure both, they have made it in such a way that it becomes much more complicated for them to understand. So there's a lot of hidden fees, this and that and whatnot, right? It's
yes,
a problem. Every
yes.
month the cost increases by 10%. Like on an annual, I would say comfortably that every year we pay around, you know, $300,000 just to AWS. That's the
300,000.
cost. Yeah. We may be smaller for our size in terms of what you guys are managing. You may have customers who are spending more than that, right? But now
Yeah,
our cost is increasing tenfold because of many things that we're doing now, right? So this 300,000 is going to become 30 million in the next 5 years. I'm already seeing that going towards that trajectory. So this is the most important slide. When you're going for your client presentations, show them this, that your organization, to them, the cloud matters because we can come up with resource optimization and all of those things utilizing AIOps processes. Okay. This is very important.
yeah,
Continue, mashallah.
yeah.
Good. I've written a lot of answer questions that I need to ask from your
Okay,
presentation while you're presenting it, right? Because
okay.
lately
So
people are using AI to come up with to come up with all possible questions. But even I myself cannot beat AI because, you know, which is
yeah,
if you have mastered the topic, which I can see that you have, you're not going to have any problems passing the exam, inshallah. Okay, please
inshallah.
continue.
Inshallah. So let's move to AI-driven resource optimization. That leveraging the AI-driven tools from SysOps perspective. So we have uh, different tools in the AWS that is of offering to us. AWS Trusted Advisor. It acts as a cloud consultant that it analyzes the cloud resources and re, you know recommending the best practices to optimize infrastructure, enhance the security, how we can enhance the security, minimize the cost, and improve the performance. Uh, for more granular cost optimization, we can use AWS Explorer, which provides us granular insights into the cloud spending. It helps us to identify the cost drivers, forecast the expenses, and helps us to budget effectively, right, using machine learning. And then we have AWS DevOps Guru, which is another machine learning service offered by AWS. It analyzes the data from different AWS services like CloudWatch, CloudTrail to detect any abnormal activity and provide the proactive insights. So we can take proactive action and we can automate our further workflows. In Azure, we have the Azure Advisor, which is similar to AWS Trusted Advisor, which helps us to which analyzes the resources and usage patterns, and it leverages the machine learning to provide recommendations for security, cost saving, performance improvements, reliability, and operational excellence. Similarly, for cost management, for more granular cost, you know, optimization, we can use AWS Cost Manager because cost is very important to any business. So, so we have to use it very carefully and in more granular way, and which it helps us to give you detailed insights into your spending, and it helps you to budget and plan your uh, cost for future and by utilizing machine learning. For multi-cloud optimization, if we want a centralized management, we have some tools, third-party tools like Datadog or Dynatrace. These platforms deliver cross-cloud monitoring, right? I mean, these are observability tools. They monitor your cloud resources and detects any anomalies using AI, and thereby helping to identify under and over resources. And then we have Cloud Health by VMware. It also analyzes your cloud resources in a multi-cloud environment, which tracks and optimizes your resources more and helps you to and detect any anomaly according to related to cost and performance. Uh, Applying AI for IT operations. That means you are applying and infusing AI and machine learning into your IT operations, right? To streamline the process and the management of the resources, uh, and to it helps you to manage and allocate the resources based on the demand by analyzing the historical and real-time data. and we can take a proactive action on it based on the prediction it will make. So it all starts from the data collection. You collect the data from various sources and different type of data like matrix, logs, traces from different uh, re- sources like CloudWatch, CloudTrail, Azure Monitor. Then we aggregate it into the landing zone, like in a data lake. So data lake has two landing zones. One is landing zone, and there is second one is curated zone. In landing zone, we pre-process that data. We collect it and that we just put it in the uh, that landing zone, or you can say that raw zone also. So we perform the pre-processing there and find any missing values, outliers, right? And any inconsistencies. And once that is done, we move that data to the curated zone, which consists of the pre-processed data. Then, once the data has been pre-processed, we develop and train the model on that, right? Using AWS SageMaker, Azure Machine Learning, we can that will help us to predict the spike in demand and optimize the resource usage, right? And all on the historical and real-time data because it works on the data. So we will provide that data to the model, and then it will do predictive analytics on our data, and it will find any trends and forecast the behaviors, demands. It will enable us to proactive decision making and resource optimization more efficiently. Now, based on the prediction, we need to automate the workflow, right? That's what we need to do now. We have the prediction, but we need to act on it. And for that, we need to further automate the workflow that we need to automate the resource allocation, optimize the workloads, ensure that resources are efficiently scaled on demand. So that's all we have to do. So automation is after the prediction is very important. We have to take care of it. Then the last one is the feedback on monitoring. This is very important that continuously monitoring and taking the feedback because AI can produce unreliable and unsafe data, unsafe results. So that can lead to harmful situation. So we need to detect any, uh, there could be data drift or concept drift in the model, and that will, uh, make the prediction wrong and the results wrong because the over time data changes because we'll be putting the giving the feeding the real time data. So there might be a situation where the data can be drift from the actual one. So there could be some explainability issues, especially if we are using the deep learning, right? Deep learning model. So it can function as a black box, right? So we need to find a way, like we can use uh, you know tools like explainable AI for that to find that how this model is making the decision on what factors. So we need that to find that, and there is a lot of security risk to it to associate with it, like data poisoning, model inversion, and adversarial attacks. So all of these risks are addressed by NIST AI risk management framework. So we can follow that and we can use that framework to make our model more efficient and make the process more reliable. So let's move forward. Now, quantum computers and cryptography. So quantum computers are designed on the principle of quantum mechanics, right, which is the physics branch. And quantum computers basically work on qubits, unlike the classical computers, which works on bits. Now, qubits are, uh, you know, th- they are very, we can say that it's very uh, efficient to solve the problem. They address the
They
challenges
are
we
very
all.
excited to solve the problem. They're always in a superposition state, right?
Yeah, they
Okay,
we
you
all
have 30 seconds left. I'm going to give you extra 3 minutes because I intervened while you were delivering the presentation. You have 3 minutes to wrap this up, please.
all right. So the qubits have different principles, and the which they follow superposition, which that means that they can have multiple states at the same time. Then we have entanglement, which that means the two qubits can be linked to each other, so that one state can instantly affect the other one. Then we have decoherence. That means the quantum the bits are very sensitive towards the external entities, like you any kind of vibration, heat, and such like that, stuff like that. So then we have interference that it can combine to enhance the two qubits can combine to enhance the correct answers and cancel out each other. Then we the cryptography as the last line of defense. So current cryptography algorithms are considered that they are to be secure, but once we have the quantum computer, uh, they will be compromised. They can be compromised because classical computers cannot solve the underlying mathematics problems right now. So most of the breaches happens due to human error. Someone accidentally gives out a password, leaves a backdoor. uh, the modern encryption methods, such like the symmetric AES encryption 2048, for which they are considered a very studious vault. But if someone leaves a key lying around outside, so we can't do anything for it. So in the future, the quantum computer can crack these and hack these encryption keys. Then we have quantum computers with with the ability to solve this problem more efficiently using the Shor's algorithm and Grover's algorithm. So NIST has announced that the next breach might come as soon as 2030. So we are not far from it. So that there are several risks to data from quantum computing, fraudulent authentication. Computers can crack the authentication system and very efficiently. By leveraging this, cyber criminals can impersonate and legitimate users and gain access to the secure data. Then they can also forge the signatures, for the falsify the records, the audits, the blockchain, even blockchain records. Then harvest now and decrypt later. It's a very important for us to understand that the hackers can collect the data, the encrypted data, and they can, with the goal that they can, once they have the access to CRQC, cryptographic relevant quantum computer, they can decrypt it, right? And then quantum safe cryptography, that what is the solution we are having right now for it, for this quantum safe cryptography or post quantum cryptography uses this algorithm. They to provide a shield against the quantum computer attacks. So, in contrast to any RSA and ECC, so we have different cryptographic algorithm like lattice-based cryptography, hash-based cryptography, code-based, and multivariate cryptography. And then we have the quantum key distribution, which uses the quantum mechanics principles. The quantum safe cryptography does not use the quantum mechanics, but QKD uses quantum mechanics to secure the key exchange over a secure quantum channel. It encodes the information into photons
I'm gonna
that,
give you 1 more minute to wrap this up. The time is past. The topic is very heavy, and this is one of my
yeah,
favorite topics, right? So
so it's very lengthy topic.
I know. The topic is very loaded, and I understand like 25 minutes may not be more than enough to do justice.
Yeah,
But here, like you just have to go through the topic at a faster pace for the exam's sake,
okay.
right? We can skip to the next one because I know about all of these things. I've worked on some of these things, so that's why. Okay. Uh,
Okay, so
just quickly wrap up these last two slides in 1 minute each, please.
all right. So we have different tools and frameworks for implementing the quantum safe cryptography. So we have NIST post-quantum cryptography algorithms. So NIST has been working on it, and they are standardizing the some of the core algorithms. Then we have Open Quantum Safe, which is basically a C library that we can use to implement these algorithms. And we can also use AWS KMS and Key Vault for it. And we have the and we need to follow the hybrid cryptographic approach for backward compatibility for now, because we there's a lot of things to discuss. So I mean, the hardware security module, we can also use it for secure storing our keys, post-quantum cryptography encryption keys. The process is when implementing the quantum safe cryptography using AWS KMS and Key Vault, we can implement the AES encryption on the data at rest, right? Where when using uh, the hybrid approach, right? So we can use it. We can use AES encryption, symmetric encryption to encrypt the data at rest. Then we can use the PQC algorithm like Kyber for the key exchange, right? And then for storing it, we can use Cloud SSM, because we cannot store it in the AWS KMS or Key Vault, because it just allow you to it gives you only 4 KB of space. So data in transit. So when we can use TLS 1.3 with hybrid post-quantum cryptography. We can implement the PQC algorithm and cipher suites in TLS 1.3. And then the last one is the periodic key rotation and management. The the three step to become quantum safe with crypto agility. So crypto agility is that how fast you can change the current cryptography, the vulnerable cryptography with the new one without disrupting the system. So it starts from discovering all of your cryptographic materials and artifacts in your business application, in your organization. We build and implement the cryptographic bill of materials, right, in the organization to list down all of the libraries, methods, and that are being used. Then using CBOM, you will have the static view of your environment, that what is happening and where we are using the cryptographic functions. Then because it serves as a
Yeah,
single
I'm just
source
going
of
to
truth.
stop you. I'm just going to stop you because, as I said, the topic is very large, and you still have one slide left after this, right? But let's jump on. Let's jump on to the questions. I understand you. You know,
So first, by
that's okay.
topic is very low.
I know. I know. I know. This is a very loaded topic. I'm going to ask you something. There was a there was a movie about Avengers. You can stop the screen, right? Bismillah. There was a movie about Avengers, like where they were fighting Thanos. Have you seen that?
Yes, I've seen that movie.
The reason I know is because I've seen my son watching that movie. I was sitting on the side, and when the final battle was taking place, because I have to sit there chaperoning him to make sure he's not watching any bad stuff, right? There was nothing significant bad in there, except there was a lot of fantasizing. So when they were fighting with Thanos, Doctor Strange, you know, did something, and he was trying to calculate the possibilities of how Thanos can be defeated. You remember that?
No, I don't remember that all of the scenes, because it was I watched it very I mean it's a lot of time. I watched it.
Let me show it to you, right? So I just wanted to show you something.
Blowing my mind.
Okay, hold on.
Excuse me?
I think this might be the one. I'm just going to quickly see if that is the one, right? You did a good presentation, by the way, right? So I'm going to show you if a human can do quantum processing, right? Right? Bismillah. Okay.
Blowing my mind.
Excuse me? But does your friend often do that?
Strange. You all right? You backyard.
Hey, what was that?
Went forward in time to view alternate futures, to see all the possible outcomes of the coming conflict.
How many did you see?
14,605,000.
How many did we win?
So just wanted to show you something. This is quantum computing. Okay. So what Dr. Strange was doing using the eye of Agamotto, because I've read a lot of comics, so I know about all of these things. I haven't watched the movie, but I watched while I was listening, and I have, alhamdulillah, very observant ears. I saw and I said to my son, "Do you know what he's doing?" And he said, "I don't know. He's going back and calculating. I don't know what he's just shaking his head." I paused the movie and said, he's calculating. Because once this was done, and he said, like, only one possibility, that's the time when I asked my son, you know what he was calculating? So that's quantum computing. So essentially, when we have the quantum computers, we will have the possibility, and these are endless possibilities of calculating all kinds of possible scenarios. So let me ask you a question. So now the Q&A is going to start, right? You talked about quantum computing, quantum encryption, this and that. This is a question which doesn't have any marks. So even if you don't answer, that's okay, right? If we have quantum computers, right? And if we run AI on top of these quantum computers, right? What do we get? Happens
We get
to the AI that is running now? What happens?
we can process the data much faster, and we get its speed, and we
So we
can
can get
train our
enhanced
model more
machine learning.
faster.
We can get enhanced machine learning. We
Yeah,
can get
more effective
optimization.
prediction.
Yes, reasoning, prediction,
Is
advanced optimization, enhanced simulation and modeling. That's the key thing. You need to calculate all kinds of possibilities of how you can defeat your opponent, right? And that is what quantum computers does. Addressing AI limitations. AI right now is significantly limited. It is facing these challenges where we have to solve these complex problems, right? So that's the key thing. High dimensional optimization is something which is in mathematics. There's network dynamics. In physics, there is fluid dynamics. There is high dimensional optimization. There's a lot of things, right? Okay. All right. So let's jump onto the Q&A. We're going to go through some Q&A stuff, inshallah. So you mentioned some of these things. Explain to me why the organizations fail during the design phase.
so let me think about it first. They fail because they doesn't you know uh, scope themselves. I mean,
Yes.
they don't gather all the requirements, uh, the business requirements, security requirements, and they don't follow that process, scoping and establishing the context, and why they need to do that.
This is the primary reason the organizations fail. They fail to define the context, the scope, the requirements, right? And this is very important with you when you're going out. MashaAllah, you've secured the job, right?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So now once you complete your diploma, I'm going to give you all the things, provided what happens in your results today. Then I will give you some recommendations that you should look into, right? So that's the primary thing, because consider this as your interview preparation, right? Because when you are facing an employer or clients, these are the questions that they will ask. And that's how you have to respond back. Okay. So why do organizations fail to bake in security requirements?
Uh, because they don't, articulate, or they don't define their security requirement. I mean, the security requirements need to be uh, derived from the business requirement. And if those requirements are not defined, so the security requirements will not be. Uh,
Very good, Mashallah. Very good. Uh, how's it coming along? Feeling comfortable? Are you feeling comfortable? Muhammad Shoaib, I'm asking you, can you hear me? Muhammad Shoaib, can you hear me?
yeah,
Okay, can you
yeah.
hear?
My internet connection is, sensitive. Now I can hear you.
Okay, I'm saying, are you feeling comfortable right now?
Yeah, a bit, little bit nervous, but
But
it's
don't
all.
have you don't have to be nervous. Relax, relax. This is good. Okay. Why is it important to contain the blast radius?
So if we do not contain the blast radius, it will affect all of our workloads. For example, let's if we need to decompose it for to. I mean, if we don't control it, it will affect all of our organization and the users and associated services and dependencies. I mean, all of those things.
Okay,
I think.
yeah, that's a good answer. Okay, resource intensive, right? Uh, when it comes to organizations adopting these quantum, so let's jump on some of the other questions that I have right now, looking at your presentation. So I'm going to give you a scenario, right? And you can give me some resource optimization questions, right? So if I look at your slide, how can AI driven resource optimization in cloud environments mitigate the risk of resource starvation in a multi-cloud architecture?
What do you mean by starvation?
So what happens is just like you have limited resources, right? Some of the
Yes.
resources you have, they're they're there, but they're not being consumed. Some of the systems require resources, but you have them, but they can't use it because you have to allocate it to them, right? You mentioned reserve instance, you mentioned some of these on demand and all of these things, right? When I was listening to your presentation, right? So I'm asking you, resource, optimization in a cloud environment mitigate the risk of resource starvation. How? How does it do that? If I use AI, what do I need to do to ensure that I have limited resources, I can allocate them to proper places?
We need to monitor and identify the demand, that what is the demand right now, and based on the demand, and what AI can do is it can analyze all of the resources and the request the users is creating, and upon that request it can make prediction that these number of resources are required, and according to that prediction we can allocate, we can scale the resources, or we can scale
So
down the
it
resources.
has to do predictive analysis, it has to use anomaly detection, it has to use automated scale, and then you have
Yes.
to figure
Yeah,
automated scaling strategies. That's how you do it, right? Okay. All right. The answer you provided was
yes.
okay, but needs to be tight, you know. Okay. All right. So the other question I have is, so explain how post-quantum cryptography algorithms like the Crystal, Kyber, and dilithium can resist the Shor's algorithm based attacks.
So Shor's algorithm is basically works on integer factorization. So it can solve that integer factors into their prime factors. I mean the large uh, the fact integers. So we can use the post quantum cryptographic algorithm like for peak crystal kyber, crystal dilithium, right, to resist to that attacks, right? It is not. I'm not saying that it will be fully secured. It cannot be done because they are not promising yet. We don't know that if they will be still be secure or not because we don't have the quantum computers right now in place, and so we are they are not promising, but they are resistant. We can use it in a you know in a controlled environment. We can use it and we can test it.
So
That
how
will
does the
provide us
lattice-based
the resistant to.
cryptography, how does the lattice-based cryptography resilience, how does it works?
So lattice-based cryptography, basically it utilizes the lattice grid of points problem, mathematical problem, which is very uh, you know difficult even for a quantum computer to solve, right? The key problems like short vector SVE, short vector problem, SVP, sorry, and LWE, learn with errors. So what they do is there are a lot of high dimensional lattices, which is so we need to find the shortest non-zero vector, right, in SVP. So this is very difficult when you have a very dense lattices. So even for a quantum computer, it cannot solve it. So if and similarly, LWE, which is learning with errors, you introduce an error into the equations into the vectors, and that makes the problem so complex. So because of the high
So,
dimensions,
so you mentioned learning with
thousand of
errors,
dimensions.
you mentioned learning with errors LWE, right? So
Yeah.
why is it difficult for quantum computers to efficiently solve even the LWE problems?
Uh,
What is,
quantum
you know, what makes it difficult?
uh, the equation we I mean uh, the errors we introduce to the equation because
Yes, the errors,
the
the noise that the errors
the noise
introduce,
way.
noise introduced makes decryption impossible without a secret key, right? That's one of the
Yes,
most promising things we have right now in the on the mathematical side, that even quantum computers will have difficult problem, right? Difficulty in solving the problem.
yes.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you to solve a Shor's, technical proof of Shor's logarithm.
I tried
Uh,
it, but it's complicated. I couldn't find.
Even for a
I
quantum
didn't.
computer, even for the quantum computer, it can take up to 8 hours,
Yes.
right? So you and me, we are not there yet. Okay. All right. Question number 7 that I have. Uh, Only 3 more to go after this. How can quantum cryptographic protocols like quantum key distributor QKD that you mentioned be integrated into a cloud services like AWS, KMS, or Azure Key Vault for enhanced security? First of all, are these things designed to host QKW like in there? These are encryption keys, you know.
QKD, which is quantum key distribution. You're talking about that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So quantum key distribution, as we discussed, that it uses the quantum mechanics, right? So it requires a dedicated hardware for that. We cannot use it in the cloud because we need a dedicated hardware, just like for producing the photons, and we cannot use it for because there are limitations like distance. They cannot photons cannot travel for large distances, and they are very sensitive to external entities like heat, light, vibration. So it needs to be in a controlled environment, and if we use it in the cloud, I mean we can use it in such a way that we encrypt the encrypt using this metric. However, it does not require. It is already giving you the security, but the thing is that we need a dedicated hardware for it uh, to operate it.
Okay, I'm going to jump on to the next question. Give me 1 minute. So, how can cloud native architectures like AWS and Azure and GCP, IBM, Alibaba, all of these different Oracle, so many, right? They can use AI to optimize federated learning workloads across multi-cloud architecture. How can we do that?
So that means their workloads are divided into different clouds, right?
Well, what I'm asking is like federated learning means in a cloud native architecture, you have to create a decentralized AI model, right? Because federated means it's centralized, but the multi-cloud environment is decentralized. So you need to have AI, decentralized AI, sitting in AWS, sitting in Azure, sitting in GCP, multi-cloud environments, right? Uh, how can you use that to train the model in a way that it preserves data privacy, integrity, all of those things?
Uh, we can use AI. We can the one way would be we can use the cloud native services like AWS SageMaker, machine learning, and the GCP AI service.
Mhm.
uh, that will analyze the data from uh, the the cloud where it is residing. We will fetch the data from the cloud and will provide that data within that environment, right? So it will make prediction on it. The other thing which we are doing in the company is we are creating a solution, one cloud. So we are you know we can say that integrating all the clouds in the one platform, so we can you know uh, make the things. It will, I mean, it will give us the visibility of all our environments, either in the AWS, GCP, Azure. So they are in under development and I'll be working on it. So
So
that's
how are they managing? Cloud is all API, right? It's all API based consumption.
yes.
So how are you going to manage all these different APIs? Through what kind of gateway?
I think the using API gateway
API gateway,
uh,
yes, mashallah. Okay, good.
in AWS, and then Azure has its own service for that. I think I don't remember the name of the service, but we can
Good,
use
mashallah,
it.
good. That's good, mashallah.
And GCP has its own service, so we can fetch the data from
That's
that. I
good.
mean,
What are the vulnerabilities in hybrid quantum classical cryptography? What are the vulnerabilities? And
hybrid
what are those vulnerabilities in a hybrid
in
quantum classical cryptography? Cryptography uh, uh, protocols.
uh, the vulnerabilities are in quantum safe cryptographic algorithms are because they are very I mean, they're not efficient. I mean, it took a
Okay,
lot of time
hold on.
to.
Let me ask you. So, what is a hybrid quantum classical cryptography? What is it?
Uh, so it is basically using both the classical
Classical
cryptography and the
encryption,
quantum, say, yeah,
yes.
and the quantum
RSA, EPP,
and peak
with post quantum
PQC
cryptographic
algorithms.
methods, right? PQC, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So using
now
both of
tell
them,
me, what are the vulnerabilities?
the vulnerabilities will be uh, you know s- the keys are very large. The PQC keys are very large, so there will be difficult to handle those keys. Uh,
It's backward compatibility risks.
yeah,
That's
backward
one.
compatible.
PQC algorithms weakness and key exchange attack vectors. All of these things that matter, right? Okay. All right. All right. So that's good, mashallah. That's good. The interview took longer. I have to go through all of those things. make sure. You're doing good, mashallah. You're doing good. Very good, mashallah. Okay. So why, you did your SIEM course, right? Security Information Event Monitoring course, right?
Yes.
So why are existing SIEM solutions inadequate for detecting post-quantum cyber threats? Why are they?
Because
Yes.
the the reason is they are not compatible with uh, the the algorithms right now. Uh, and then I mean they're not compatible,
No,
number
no,
one,
no,
and
no. Hold on. It's not the lack of that. It's basically the reason that they are incompatible is because SIEM relies on what?
logs,
SIEM,
logs data.
SIEM relies on signature-based detection, right?
Okay.
And they struggle against post-quantum threats because due to lack of post-quantum attack pattern data sets and outdated threat model.
Oh,
That's the reason. Okay. Okay. The question was long. I mean, it could go either way. I'm not going to go there, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So let me compile the results, okay? Hold on.
there might be some mistakes, but because I'm very tired now, I'm working from I mean till earlier.
Still at the
From I
office right
wake up.
now?
Yes, I'm in the office, so that's why I wake up very early in the morning in Fajr prayer. So I've started working in Fajr, and I'm still working. I mean, now I'm giving the interview, so it's all day I'm working right now. So that's I. So there might be some mistakes uh I made. Please apologies from my side.
No, it's okay, mashallah. That's good. You had a good interview. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1.5, 2, and 2. So this is going to be 10, 1, 1.5, and then 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 18, 25. Okay, mashallah, you did good, very well, mashallah. I can tell you the results. And 23 out of 25. Okay, so 18.5 plus 23 divided by, okay, 15. Let me tell you the results. Are you still at work right now? You still at work?
Yes, I'm in the office.
So 41 out of 50 and divided by 50. So this is going to be 3. And this is going to be 18.5. Okay. So in the interview, in the presentation, you scored 23. The presentation was very good, mashallah, out of 25. You were able to communicate effectively, provide all the information. You were articulate, explaining all the things. The topic was very heavy, right? The topic was
Yes.
extremely heavy, and I understand, like, Complete the results. The topic was very heavy, but still you did it very well, mashallah. In the Q&A, you scored 18.5, right? So altogether, your presentation, you scored, if I do this, so 23 divided by 25, you scored 92% in your presentation. Okay, mashallah, that's very good. And then you scored 18.5 out of 25. You scored 74 in your Q&A. The final exam tally comes to 83%, right? This is very good, mashallah. Mashallah, very, very good. Okay. All right. So,
Thank you.
so congratulations, you have passed your exam. It's a big,
Alhamdulillah.
right? Alhamdulillah. It's a big load off your chest. Again, as I mentioned, there might be some new some new things requested from you. Not new things, but these are existing things. If you see that you have to do some other things, then you have to do those things, right? Those are going to be simple tasks. It might take you a week, 2 weeks, maximum a month to complete those.
Okay.
Have you done Al Razak labs?
And the starter lab, I did that. So starter lab
It's going to be similar
one.
to like that, right? But those will be related to DevOps and SysOps and AI and stuff like that, right? So you have to do those things.
Yeah.
Very important. Okay. So here's my plan for you. What do you want to do? How old are you? You mentioned how old are you?
21.
Brother, you're 21. Okay. 21 right now.
Yes.
So this is my recommendation for you. Work in the industry for at least 1 year.
Okay.
Mashallah, you're earning 1.5, right?
Yes.
If you continue to work in 1.5, 150,000 rupees that you're earning per month, in the 12 months time, you would have earned 1.8 million, right?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. When you started your journey on 2022, you started with cyber defense, you went to CAT, you went to DCCS, then DevOps, and now AIOps, right? So you've completed everything. I'm going to ask you something. How much money did you spend in doing all of these things?
Around, if we calculate 5 lakhs, around
5 lakhs.
5 lakhs around.
And
Yeah.
you secured your job when?
Recently, last month.
Last month.
In January, I joined 15th January.
So did you receive your salary?
Yeah, I mean, only I worked for 15 days, so that
They gave you only
I
15
got it
days.
from.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you started earning, right? So
Yeah.
essentially you spend 500,000 rupees roughly, right? As you mentioned.
Yeah.
And you have started earning 150,000, right? So by the time that you have earned after 1 year, you'll be at 1.8 million, right? Okay. So do you know what is the return you got? Do you know the return?
No,
The
I have
ROI,
not
the return
calculated
on
it.
investment, right? So you spend 500,000 rupees multiplied by 3.6. That gives you your 1 year worth of salary. So essentially, what you have done is you have spent 500,000 rupees and in 1 year time and this, by the way, over 2 years, right? Over 2 years,
Yeah.
right? So essentially, your ROI now is 3.6 times. MashaAllah. So this is my recommendation for you. If you want to
Basically,
take admission, go ahead.
so I borrowed this money from my uncle, the AIOps fees. So I have to
Return it
give
back to him.
him
Inshallah,
back,
you'll be able to do
inshallah.
that. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So this is what I'm
So,
going to tell you.
inshallah.
This is what I'm going to tell you. So there's a certain requirement that everyone needs to meet. And that requirement for us to sponsor you is you have to complete your course, complete your Al Razak requirements, and then secure the job. 3 requirements. Actually, complete the course with distinction, with merit. You did. It's 83%. It's merit, right? You are in the merit phase. Complete Al Razak requirements. You still have to do those. Find, secure the job. You already secured the job. The middle one is still left, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you do the middle one, complete Al Razak, do all of those things, submit inshallah, complete the labs and everything, then we can give you financial sponsorship to study in UK, USA, Canada. These are the three places where we are sponsoring, right? You can go, you can study.
Okay.
While working there for 1 year at least, you will go through many things. You are learning, you are expanding yourself, you're learning new things, etc., right? This will help you and elevate you, inshallah. That's one thing. The other thing is, while doing this thing, become a QB astronaut. Okay?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Inshallah. If you become a QB astronaut, you're already working in artificial intelligence, you will have, because that's just a title, but the title opened doors for you. You have the qualification, you did your intermediate, you did your AIOps, you have 2 years of experience. When did you do your intermediate? When was that? 2 years ago?
Uh, yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I mean, it finished. I finished it in 2021.
So 2021, you graduated, right? Your intermediate, right? Well, you call
Yeah,
it in Pakistan, what do you call it? FSC,
FSC pre-engineering.
right? Uh, does FSC stand for Foundational School Certificate? Like, I don't know what does it stands for.
FSC, I think I don't remember.
SubhanAllah, we have done FS, you have done FSC, you don't even know, right? So here's the thing. You have to complete that, inshallah. Then you should target, you still have time. September is the time. You can apply, we can assist you in securing admission in UK based on this diploma that you have completed, plus QB astronaut, plus years of experience that you have right now, right? Okay. So if you do
Yeah,
all of those things, inshallah, you'll be fully ready.
inshallah.
Once you land in UK, you want to go to UK or US or Canada? Where do you want to go?
My first priority is to go to US. But if it does not happen, then I'll
Go to
go to
US.
UK.
You can go to US, right? You still have time. You are 21 years of age. Go to US once you have, because we can give you, because you also have to keep this in mind. You borrowed money from your uncle to study here, right?
Yes,
Now you're in the position to return it back, right?
yes, inshallah.
Give it to him, in the next 3 months, pay him like 50, 50, 50, whatever, right? How much money did you borrow from him, roughly?
I mean, I just took the AIOps fees,
Okay. How much was
only
that?
AIOps. It was 3 lakh something,
So it says
and
some,
near about 4 lakh.
right? So in the next few months, pay him back. Say, this is Qard al-Hasana, you give it to me, I'm giving it back to you, right? And then the next thing you have to do is plan yourself. Go for the exams. While going for the exams and you pass your exams, the company will also promote you as well. It's a slow and gradual process. Now
Okay.
you're in the work stream, right? I can 100% assure you, all those students who graduated with you doing your FSC back in 2021, they're still jobless, right?
Yeah,
But mashallah, you are sitting in an office right now working. Okay. So these are the three core requirements. The fourth requirement is, if you want the sponsorship from us, you have to teach with us, right?
okay.
So you can also teach, give back to the community what you have learned, right? And this will help you. I will put you in the same AI ops things, teaching as an assistant trainer that can assist you and help you, inshallah. Okay. So that's one thing.
Inshallah.
So the potential for you for growth is exponential. You are 21 years of age right now. By the time you're 22, 20, maximum 23, you will be in the States, inshallah.
Inshallah.
The next 2 years, if you focus and play all the things properly, brother, you will be much more successful than I was. I'm telling you right now, inshallah. Okay. You'll be able to pay your fee. You'll be stabilized. By the age of 25, you can even get married. That's what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did, right? That's another thing, right? So this is my recommendation for you. Follow the plan. Our goal at Nafi is to empower you, prepare you for all the things. Okay? I hope that we were able to teach you enough that you are successful. Do you
Yeah,
want to say anything?
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. First of all, I praise Allah who helped me in this interview as well. I prayed a lot and I asked Allah to help me, and Alhamdulillah, Allah helped me. Uh, so, and then secondly, I thank you all, and especially you, Faisal bhai, who helped me to secure this job a lot. And one more thing that I want to discuss is, as I also shared it with you on WhatsApp, you might not have seen it. I got an opportunity from Budapest, Hungary. It's a software company. They were sponsoring me. I mean, they were giving me the work permits, but they were asking for my diploma. So they said that we will wait for you at least for 3 to 4 months. So if you
Tell
give
them
us
that
the
you have passed your diploma. It will take time for the UK authorities to issue it, but I can share with you, I just passed my exam and I passed it with 83%. And I secured a merit designation in my final exam, right? Okay.
yeah,
And tell them that. That will help you, inshallah. And tell them that the diploma will be issued to me in the next 2 months, 1.5 months. I don't know. It depends on how fast you can meet the remaining requirements, if you have to meet any remaining requirements, right? Inshallah. That's one thing. The other thing is, these things will keep on coming towards you. Imagine if you do what I'm telling you to do, and if you go on a student visa in US, right? And you are a QB astronaut, and you're doing your last year, like you're doing your master's or last year bachelor's, whatever you want to do, you're doing that, company will be running after you to offer you H-1B visa. You can't, you may be able to apply for EB visa by that time as well. Because for EB visa, you have to show industry working experience with payslips, right? You already started getting your payslip, right? You got your first payslip 2 weeks ago, right?
yeah,
That was your first payslips. Gather these paychecks in a file. These are my paychecks. These are all my things I have. Okay? Everything is ready. Now I want to go in and inshallah apply for the student visa. You will land in US while studying, you will get the job. The only thing you have to work on, get those things done right now before going to US. Focus and target of going next year, not this year. Take your time. You have a lot to learn. Remember this. You have
yeah,
been here. When you came to us, you were 19 years of age, right? Today you are
yes.
21. If I tell someone, all those friends of yours who are 19 years of age, where are they right now? What are they doing?
They will be jobless or might be in doing bachelor's.
You're already ahead of them. MashaAllah. Right? So focus on that. Get those things done. If you keep on following the advice, we can only advise you. The rest is for the people to follow. If you follow all of those things, inshallah, you'll be successful. Okay? Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair for your time. Ask your parents to make special dua for me. Allahumma inni as'aluka shahadatan
Yeah,
fil Nabi sallallahu alaihi
my
wasallam.
father is calling me.
Okay,
He
tell
needs to
him
ask what
I
happened.
passed, I secured 83%, and Nafe will also sponsor my will also provide me financial support in terms of going to the US, Canada, UK. I just have to fulfill few requirements, and inshallah I'll be there as well. So you don't have to worry about anything. I'm inshallah going to support the whole house. Are you the eldest in the house?
And no, the eldest son.
The eldest in the house? Okay. All right. May
There are
Allah
two
make you.
younger brothers.
You have two brothers? How many
Yeah,
brothers do
I
you have?
have two younger brothers.
Yeah. How old are they?
They're younger than.
How old are
We
they?
are three brothers. We are only three brothers.
So if they are grade 8 of age, they should follow the grade 8 path. If they are grade 10, they should follow the grade 10 path. If they're grade 12, you know the paths, right? That we have shown it to you, right?
Yes.
Follow those pathways, inshallah. Okay. All right. Jazakallah khair, Muhammad Shoaib. I will talk to you soon. I'm going to recommend you for the team to come in and join in as well. You can
Okay.
continue doing your job, but you can also do some more research, some work, and that will help you and help us as well, inshallah. Okay. All right. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.
سبحانك اللهم
Jazakallah khair.
وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum.